Thank you very much for taking some time for us on Bloomberg Television.
Thank you, Eric, and welcome to Mexico.
Yes, delighted to be back. The conventional wisdom, as you know, is that the Donald Trump presidency will be bad, if not terrible, for Mexico. What do you say?
I don't think so. First, what will be the reality of what he has said, no? Is different like a candidate that like a president. He's talking about other issues that are very positive for Mexico, like that he will create 25 million jobs. That's very, very too many. That they will grow, he will try to grow 4%, and that the investment in infrastructure will be $1 trillion in 10 years. That's 100 billion a year. I think all these issues are very important for if it happens, at least as part, will be very good for Mexico. He's talking also to get down the taxes for middle class, 35%. That will be good for Mexico. He's looking
for middle class Americans.
For middle class American, that will he's focusing to increase the consumption and the investment in U.S. And the grow investment and consumption in U.S. is good for Mexico. But also, if he's going to create these jobs and to do this kind of investment, at least in a relevant part, they need many Mexicans to do all these jobs. And the most qualified people to do infrastructure and many of the services that are needed to all these are Mexicans. Mexicans and Hispanics, no, from Central America and other countries.
He needs those Mexicans where? Here or there in the United States?
The Mexicans there and here. U.S. needs the Mexicans there and the Mexicans here. It's very important for the consumer in U.S. to have good prices. The money that is in the markets that has gone in fiscal deficit since 2002 are huge. There are very big deficits. And the reason they are not creating inflation is because many of this money go to the financial economy and not to the real economy. Now he's trying to move to the real economy. He cannot put a tax of 35% in imports because to save a few thousand jobs, he will create problems for 300 million Americans.
What about trade? As you know, he's taken a very aggressive position on trade with Mexico. He said he wants to renegotiate NAFTA and get a better deal for the American people.
I don't think that to renegotiate something that has more than 20 years is a bad issue. But I think that the renegotiation can be for the best for both, a win-win issue. Well, first, I think that the U.S. should protect some of the jobs, especially the jobs that are strategic and the goods that have high aggregate value. But I don't understand how can be produced low-cost products with
high wages in the United States.
Wages of $30 an hour. That's what they pay against $15 a day. That's a big difference, and I think that these issues will be not competitive. And if they try to do that, the cost for the American people will be too high. The consumers will pay too much for everything, and I don't think that 300 million people will be happy paying so much and having a big inflation. Because one of the things that is the priority of the President of United States, like other presidents, is the interest of the people. And the interest of the people is to have jobs, but also to have good price of the things they are buying.
How would you improve NAFTA?
I think we have many things to do, because many of the things we export to you are imports. We make only the aggregate value in many of these products. I think one of the ways is buying you more things, that you produce more strategic things, and other ways that we make the insumos, and you finish them there, and you have a big deficit worldwide. I think it's a big opportunity for Mexico, especially now with the currency rate will be especially cheaper.
Yes, sure, Mexican
Yes.
exports are very competitive now.
The other thing is that when you buy other countries, other places, you buy goods and you give assets. With Mexico, you will buy goods, but you will own the factories here. And at the end of the day, the important thing about is not only the trade, but also the capital movement. Because the trade can have a deficit, but the capital movement that get back to U.S. take out this deficit. You only leave something labor and other not tradable services.
So your attitude toward the Trump presidency is perhaps a little more positive, perhaps, or optimistic than some people might have thought. Does his election
I will be more worried if I were an American.
You'd be more worried as an American than as a Mexican?
Yes.
Really?
Yes, yes.
Why do you say that?
Well, because if he's going to close the economy, it's bad. If he's going out of the NATO and other international, he have the risk to lose the international leadership of the United States. Because U.S. is a leader. And you are a leader as much as you have a leadership in technology. And if many of these issues stop the technology development, in the middle term or long term, you have a big problem. You are the leaders in technology, but there are other countries moving there, China, Israel, and everyone want to improve. But I think that's a main issue. Another way that we can help in this agreement of the new NAFTA, let's say, is health. You pay too much for health. Your health is very expensive, healthcare. In Mexico will be 80% lower. The cost of health here is 80% lower than in US. That's also a big opportunity that you can extend Medicare here and everyone will pay in US a lower.
Americans would come to get medical services in Mexico?
Yes, and it will be the big hospitals of US, Mayo Clinic,
Cleveland Clinic.
That everyone can have in the border or everywhere, no?
Does the election...
Anywhere.
Does the election change any plans you had or have for investment or expansion in your businesses?
No.
No.
Well, we are mainly in Latin America. We have a big operation in US and something in Europe. And we always take care of our investments because we cannot get behind in technology, in capacity, to offer to our customers the best service, and we cannot stop this because of any reason. Well, it gets sometimes it gets cheaper because now we pay less for what we are going to do in dollar terms. In dollar terms will be lower, but in local currencies will be
cheaper,
higher.
The concerns that you have about the effect of Trump policies on the domestic economy and America's standing in the world, does that change the calculus that you may have for some of your assets in the United States? You own a very large prepaid wireless company, TracFone.
No, I think there is any change about that. No, he's talking about climate change. Let's look what he's going to do, because he's not telling that he will get out of climate change. That's very important. About the leadership of U.S., but one side he say that he will get out of everywhere, but by the other thing he want to make a stronger army, a stronger military country, and maybe he's looking to negotiate the resources that will pay for that. He has told that they will charge to some countries. Thus, I think it's an issue of negotiations to make U.S. pay less for many of these things. But he's talking about corruption in Washington. That's good for our country. That's good for everyone.
Rooting out corruption.
Yes.
I would like to think rooting out corruption is good for everybody.
I know. Well, he say corruption that is the lobbying of ex-officials of government and Congress.
I mentioned this business you have, TracFone. What's the long-term strategy for that business? Is it to continue as it is now, to maybe merge it with a wireless carrier, or perhaps to sell it at some
In
point?
the short term, is follow like we are doing. We need to follow what is happening in the industry. The industry is moving very fast, and we are alert of what is moving, what is coming, and depending of all these things, we will take a decision in his right moment.
So what's more likely to happen in the longer term?
The longer term is very difficult to define in this moment, but we are working in the short term to what we have done to make it profitable. They have a good operation, a good market share, etc.
And here in Mexico, your former partner in Telmex, AT&T, is now the greatest threat to your wireless business. Is AT&T playing fair?
We know that they were going to come to compete because we opened the door. We opened the door, like you know, they have a big piece of, for many years of America Móvil.
Yes.
Since the beginning in 91, they have 10%. Actually, in 91, they have 10% of Telmex, and those time was Telmex. And we opened the door to them buying his part. If we don't buy the part, they will not be here because they were not legal. And they are getting very aggressive, maybe a little more than what is in Telmex. They are losing a lot of money. I don't know how much, but they are losing a lot of money. You can see that in the balance sheets. Winning market, that's the strategy they take. What is very surprised, and that's for me a surprise, is that they are selling very, very low price here, less than 50% of the price in US. That means that it's a surprise that they are selling not at the US prices, but less than 50% of the price in US.
Is that anti-competitive behavior?
I don't know. You judge it.
I think you know more about those regulators than I do. But what can you do? What can América Móvil do to stop AT&T from taking your market share if they continue to price at that level?
No, they are not taking too much market. They are subsidizing too much the handsets. They are taking some market also from competitors. But as much as it is good for the consumers, we are happy.
Even if it hurts your margins?
Excuse me?
Even if it hurts your profit margins?
Yes, because that's short term. You cannot be with these prices always, because all the Americans will buy the services here instead of buying in US.
You know that Randy Stevenson, AT&T's CEO, considers you a mentor.
Well, I appreciate him very well. I know him since he was in Mexico. Then the former president and CEO of SBC invited me to the board. I was many years in the board of SBC, I think since 94, something like that. And I know
SBC,
him.
which became AT&T. Yes.
Southwestern Bell became SBC and became AT&T. At the end of the day, the decision in '84 was very bad. The decision to break AT&T was very bad. Instead of doing 3 national competitors, they make a few monopolistic regional companies, 8, I don't know how many.
The Baby Bells.
Yes, and Airbox, and they came back. They came back, and now they are Verizon and AT&T, and they lose too much time because they should be in the world.
Given the relationship that you had with Randall Stevenson, and the fact that he's now competing against you so aggressively, how does that feel? It's okay?
I think it's an issue of markets. They want to win market very fast. They have a interest in Mexico. That's good that they have a big interest in Mexico. Competition always makes you better. Always make you better.
Doesn't feel like betrayal.
No, not at all. No. He's looking for the interest of AT&T, and I am looking for the interest of America. We are looking for the interest of America Mobile.
Where are you most interested in investing your money today? What's most attractive?
Well, we are very interested in improve the development of our country and our countries, and that's what we are working in education and health strongly. The programs, that's what, and culture, that's what we put a lot of time. And in the investment way, we are working strongly in the areas where jobs are creating. You cannot solve with philanthropy